whenever people say, like, cars are dying, cars are dead, turbocharging, blah, 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 is killing cars, go drive one of these. You'll change your mind.
Hey guys, DFW's Cars here. How's it going, my speedy racers? Anyway, today you'll get to see the following.
No matter how hard I try to keep my neck forward when I give this car a little power, my neck fails me every time. And then there's this that big SUV trying to
Alright guys, we have arrived.
because they have an AMG Center, which I'll actually show you guys. It's pretty neat. Model is not just the AMG, not just the C63, but the C63S. Because the regular one's just not sporty enough for a lot of folks. And we're going to check out that engine in a little bit. But every line on this car just screams German muscle car. And I mean, that's truly what this car is. So that actually makes sense. This car has the upgraded rims, the S, which gives you a bit more power. It's just really just a tune on the engine, but done by Mercedes, so it doesn't void your warranty. Is it necessary? Probably not. All right, let's go take a look at that engine, because that's what I'm mostly interested in this car. Take a look. So these are, since this is the big difference between the C63 and the C450, these are still hand built. This particular one was built by someone named Denny Walden. That is so cool. Mercedes-Benz oil recognition. Probably a good idea. Although, it looks like Mercedes-Benz oil is Mobil 1. So, it's a smaller V8 than, say, the one in the S5 or other cars I've seen. Yet, because of the way it's bi-turboed, it looks massive for a 4-liter. And the power is also massive for a 4-liter. Let's go through this interior a little bit. It really is a marvelous place. Love the tachometer. It's actually got real carbon fiber in there. Not something you would get on, say, a C450 or with an AMG Sport package. Many of these things you can. That's not one of them. Love this wheel. It really is more than just a right or something that looks cool. Look at my leg down here versus now I'm rubbing on the wheel. Granted, it wouldn't be quite that extreme or dramatic, but it really does give you a performance benefit and a performance enhancement, which I think is pretty cool. Standard C-Class interior, except it's got the AMG badge down here. It's also got a slightly upgraded clock. That's pretty nice. The other ones just have the Mercedes logo in there. I like the red around the sides. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's super slick. I really love the feel of this wood. It's like being at your grandmother's house and go to her coffee table, you know. It has that wood feel. It's very analog in a digital world, and I just greatly enjoy that. My system on this car, this is an AMG review. I'll talk about that more on my cars. The Burmaster system, incredible. I love this top stitched leather up here. Pretty much Mercedes does that on anything except the very most basic cars now. So that's nice. The Designo Edition does add all this quilted leather in here, and it's got this two-tone leather. I think that's an absolutely wicked combination. It's like Beauty and the Beast. Probably some of the softest leather I've felt outside of like a Prada store. That it doesn't seem like it would necessarily scratch that much either. So it's that perfect combination there. A bit of this car is metal or metallic in some way, which is also pretty cool. Metallic. Let's go for a drive, shall we? I like that it's not just the AMGs that do this. The seatbelt actually pulls you in, especially on the AMG though. It lets you know there's a real sense of occasion. So first off, is the C63S worth the money? Having driven D3 in the past and the C450. The S, if you're gonna do it, sure. But honestly, if you don't need those extra powers and the bragging right, it's a little bit of overkill. That exhaust note though is intoxicating on this car. Every day it's kind of a pleasing car. It's kind of calm, kind of you know, surprisingly docile to drive. And I mean that in a good way, since this is the car that tried to kill Jeremy Clarkson. Granted, it's an updated version. Notice how the camera's shaking here and going back and forth. That's not a camera issue, that's actually the car trying to use the split diff. It was kind of scary. And I mean that as a compliment. Once you learn the power and understand it, you know, you'll modulate the throttle. It's like those 700 horsepower, 800 horsepower cars that exist today. You just have to be less on it. It doesn't have the all-wheel drive. Wondering when this car will get all-wheel drive. Beast of a car, though. It's sort of like, you play nice with me, I'll play nice with you. That's kind of how I feel about this car. The growl, the anger. All right. I could do the 0 to 60 time on this car, but that's been done to death. I mean, it's definitely pretty tight. The dynamics do feel a little weird, Joe, because it's just so much power. Over 500 horsepower, not to mention the torque. The Mercedes has a really cool feature that I actually didn't know about until recently, and you'll probably only engage it by accident. So we're in drive, the car is going, not touching anything over here, but I'm gonna open the door. Bam, the car is in park. What a smart safety feature. All right, so let's go find out exactly outside what makes this car an AMG. It even says AMG right in there. That makes this an AMG. And these side skirts down here, and these aren't just cosmetic as they are in so many cars, they're actually perforated for cooling purposes. That's pretty cool. And then there's this, the carbon fiber spoiler here. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it looks cool. If it was on there, I wouldn't take it off. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to order it, but I'm sure it's much lighter than a plastic fake spoiler that does absolutely nothing. Although I must say, the lip spoiler, it looks classy, right? And then of course, in the back, the AMG exhaust here. Even on this car back here, these may provide some aerodynamic benefit, but this is why I didn't get the AMG package. It looked cool, but it wasn't very performance oriented, so I usually skip options like that. It must be the old racer in me. 503 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds of torque. This one has the Designo edition. I think it's worth the $1,500. It looks really nice. The stitched, you know, leather, the two-tone, it's pretty nice. It's got the AMG performance exhaust, definitely worth it. Although you could put in a third-party exhaust on all the time, this gives you the best of both worlds. Carbon fiber spoiler mixed on that. Parktronic, that's a worthwhile feature. Wheel locks, you don't want these rims being stolen, so that's definitely worth it. More Designo package. And then the multimedia package, which has the nav, and you're really paying for this screen if you have a smartphone. So, yeah, it averages 20 miles a gallon. Not too bad for what it is. I'm going to give you a bit of an exhaust review here. My exhaust review seems to have upset a dog over there, so we're probably gonna go get on our way. But that's how good this exhaust is. In a car park, it would set off a car alarm, and that's always a good test of an exhaust system too. So when you put the car in drive, the parking brake stays on, which is a nice feature, and once you hit the gas, it just disengages the parking brake. That's how all parking brakes should work. Kind of surprised they don't. The dual clutch transmission in this car is ridiculously good. Yeah, that sound is incredible. I'm gonna try to turn down the fan on the AC here so you actually get to hear it. Threading the needle here. There's this big truck, and then there's this that big SUV, and they're both trying to. There's inches on both sides. You take out someone else's $80,000 car, you're a little bit different about it than you would be with your own car. Wow. Now it has me somehow in manual mode.
Why? Why am I in manual? I don't want to be in manual. I don't want to drive in manual. Should have let the guy from the dealership come along. This car is such a computer. I'm usually really good at figuring these things out, but, well, let's drive it as a manual. Why not? It's kind of fun. So we got this. And let's roll on out of here. We're in a place called Wolf Creek, and there's a lady walking her child around. Although this car, being in white, is a wolf in sheep's clothing, let me tell you. No matter how hard I try to keep my neck forward when I give this car a little power, my neck fails me every time. This is probably the sportiest Mercedes until the coupe comes out. I had some experience with the C63 coupe over in Germany, but it's just going to be a little lower potentially, so it's going to be pretty similar, having driven both the C sedan and the C coupe here. Oh, this poor lady ran out of gas, and this person's coming to help her. That's nice. If he wasn't there, you know, I probably would have made for a great car review. So, what do you drive? Honda, right? Does it have a little beep that tells you when you're running out of gas? Speaking of that, how's my gas? Oh, sorry. It's great when you're shifting it manually. A lot of cars will just upshift you automatically. Or actually just leave you right in, you know, red line. Put a big red up. It's very vigorous about it, because I'm assuming probably when you're redlining it that much, it's more for show, and just you're not getting, you know, the optimum amount of power. So when it goes up, you should shift up. This is a car. Whenever people say, like, cars are dying, cars are dead, turbocharging, blah, 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 is killing cars, go drive one of these. You'll change your mind. So the would I buy this car with my own money test. Here's why I would be hesitant on that. Because I don't track that much anymore. And the roads around here are just extremely straight. I would probably get you know, a sports suspension on a car. They're curvy enough that, you know, you'd want that. But around here, that you can't utilize it to its full potential. Until next video, drive on.